Hey, Brian. You are muted. Let me unmute you. Hello.
So,
Hey, a few people will be joining here shortly. I just popped on early in case anybody was on and or waiting, and you were the first one.
so used to doing video meetings right now.
Oh, I'm sure it's become everybody's like new what's the word when you're like you're proficient
Standard.
at something? Yeah.
I've had 9 meetings so far this week.
Oh, wow. That's a lot for what is it, Thursday? And Roman is here. Hello, Roman.
Hi.
How are you? Welcome.
Good. Thank you.
How's your week going?
Pretty much business as usual, working, and luckily I have tomorrow off. I work this weekend, so I got a day, kind of a comp day. But I'm still working, which I'm happy about. But I mean, same old, there's comfort in routine, and I definitely have a routine right now, which is good.
Sure. Yeah, we were just, Brian is on as well, and he said that he's had, had to have so many meetings via chat and Zoom, like video meetings and things like that. It's like a whole new world for everybody.
For me, that's another thing. Nothing has really changed. We still go to the shipyard, and we have orders to keep our 6-foot distance and no gatherings of more than 10, but we're still in the field, so to speak.
Yeah, I have one more week at Hall, but we have been the same. I put my notice in and we'll be leaving there next Friday. Yay. But they, same thing. They did half time for hourly employees. So they were on teams where they would switch on and off. But I think it kind of bit them in the butt the way that they worked it out. So they ended up telling everybody to come back this past Monday, but on salary. They're like, we're going to pay your salary. You got to be here, of course. So yeah, it's been a dream. So if either of you want, oh, look, Jill's here. Yay. Hi, Jill.
Hey, Tracy.
How are you? Guess who's on here? I don't know if you can see or not, but Roman's on too.
Hi, Jill.
Hey, that's a familiar voice.
So cool, like a little reuniting.
Yes, I like this.
See what you do, Tracy?
Sometimes.
You light bringer, you.
Hey, Beth, how are you? I don't think you're muted. I don't know if you can hear me or not, though. You might have your mute on your own. I'll mute probably everybody as we get started, but let me give a couple more minutes, see if anybody else pops on. You there, Beth? Beth, are you there?
Yes, I don't know what to. Okay, I was trying. I didn't know. I'm here.
Okay, good. I'm glad. You don't have to do anything or say anything or whatever. I just wanted to make sure I said hello.
I was looking for a button that I thought I had to hit. I guess that's what I was doing.
I unmuted everybody to start with. So normally when you come into a room, it's muted unless they unmute everybody. But I figured there wasn't too much background noise as of yet. So we'll be good for a few more minutes. Does anybody have any questions or anything like that? Brian, have you ever meditated before?
Absolutely not.
Okay. All right. So I'll do some foundational stuff for the first few minutes.
Yeah, I just had a lot of stuff going on with my son, work. the boats I take care of got a lot of stress on that. It's like I can't sleep at night. And the other night I was like, I gotta get my head clear. Just gotta get it straight. What do you do to do that? Kind of meditate. Well, how do you? Yeah, Tracy. Yeah, give her.
Hey, I'm glad you reached out for sure. Hi, Marie. How are you?
Hi. Well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Just, ready to get some meditation on. We were just talking about, I'm going to start with the basics. I give people a few minutes to get everybody here and on, and then
Yeah.
we'll dive in. But it's for everybody. It's not, there is, I'll have to find it. There's a video of a Tibetan monk who talks about the brain chatter. He calls it like the monkey chatter in the back of his mind. And I figure if a Tibetan monk whose job it is to meditate 24/7 also has brain interruptions, then it should be totally acceptable and normal for us to get, lost in our thoughts, etc. So the idea of meditating, there's a lot more what not to do's than there are to do's. Let me continue here. Okay, sorry, I had something pop up. But with meditation, I mean, it is really just an opportunity for that reclamation, to take a pause, to take a breath, to create a safe container where we can listen and quiet, a bit of that background noise. It's really all based on your intention and what you want to get out of it and what you're looking for. So, for example, having, stress or a lot of things going on, problems, we all have them. And then we all are collectively sharing this really big one right now, and the world is changing very rapidly. This creating this meditation space is really a gift back to ourselves. It allows us that ability to connect to ourselves that we lose track of. We're living in our body every day, all day, but everything else comes first: obligations, other people, our families, work, all of that. And it's very rare that we take that pause and gift ourselves a little bit of respite from the noise. So I've been meditating for, I don't know, maybe 15, 17 years, something like that. And it quite literally saved my life in a lot of ways. And I got away from it for a while. But there was always just that quiet knowing that I could come back to in my practice, and decided, in this, COVID situation that I'm doing the meditation anyways. And then I was like, well, why not share it with people? So I did one a couple weeks ago. I think, Beth, you were the only one that was on that one. You get 20 or 25 people to sign up, and then whoever can make it on the day of gets it firsthand, and then it goes out in an email. So if you have to jump off or whatever, feel free, and you will definitely get the recording. There is a chat function, just a little backtracking. If anybody needs to ask a question or say anything during, there's a button to do it so everyone sees it or just myself sees it. But the meditation really is, I think the best way I heard it say was it's a reclamation of, all of the things that we've given away or let be taken away from us, that help, fill in the holes of our lives, our souls, our bodies, and what's happened. Oh, I got a couple more people come in. So yeah, that's kind of like my past. Hey, Marvin, you're probably, I don't know if you can hear yet. I love that I've got men on here. Yay. Yeah, it's usually always, or a lot of women. But it's just that ability to reclaim parts of ourselves that have either been hurt, harmed, or in need of healing. Hey, Marvin, you're muted. Put everybody on mute so there wasn't too much background noise. Just giving a little bit of information about meditation and what it is. Hey, glad you're here. Thanks for joining.
Got it. Anytime.
Awesome. So he's a principal at a school, so he has probably been using Zoom nonstop. Thanks, Marvin, for knowing your way around the mute and unmute button. All right, so I wanted to start a little differently than I normally do. And Marvin, the only thing that you really missed was a little bit more about my story, but you already know that. We go way back. So I really want we want to come into our body and let be what is. I think oftentimes, I've seen that there's a meme. It's like, if you want to be happy, be. And it's, cliche, yes, but there really is something to be said for just being and it being enough and okay. And whatever's coming up is right at the moment. So for this meditation, you can be in a seated position or lying down, whatever's comfortable for you. You don't have to be, like super straight up. Like I was saying earlier, Brian, some of the things that people think meditation is or looks like actually make it more difficult. So, if music helps, then use it, but it's not necessary. There's people that use beads or do the ohms and things like that. And I really feel like meditation is such a personal experience that you do what feels right and good for you. So in that manner, I'd like for everybody to just get really comfortable in your seat or laying down. Just notice the weight of your body right now, whether you're seated or flat on your back. Whatever's comfortable to you, get adjusted in any way. And wherever you are, I'd like for you to use your left couple of fingers to feel for your pulse on your right wrist. I don't know if you guys can see me without your cameras on, but just, use those couple of fingers right there and feel for that pulse. When you get a good handle on it, go ahead and close your eyes. You just get really, really quiet so that pulse is the one thing that you're focusing on for right now. Sometimes when we are so busy, we forget the miracle that is going on just below the surface of our skin. That pulse is an indication that you are alive and that you matter, and that your body is working really, really hard for you. So just like to start with the gratitude towards ourselves and our body, how hard it works every day. And as you've quieted down, can now move from actually feeling it outside of ourselves, that pulse, to really honing in, releasing your hands down on your lap or by your sides, really honing in on that feeling now within your chest space and that heart space. And take that big inhale and pause at the top. You may notice it even more. Or on the exhale, resting at the bottom, you may feel the thud of your heart doing its thing. Really tap into your heartbeat here. Try to level out your breathing so your inhalations and exhalations are about the same amount of time. Slowing it down. You may notice the feeling of the air being cool on the inhale in your nose. Noticing the heartbeat at the top of your inhale. And then notice the warmth of the air through your nose as you exhale. As we come into this self-awareness and investigation, we start to notice how amazing our bodies are and how we have this tremendous set of resources that alert us to what's going on inside and what we need. And then you may have a thought pop up that says, but I have to go make dinner, or I've got to do this for work tomorrow, or the kids need this. And our thoughts are just part of our mind. It's what they do. So we're not going to criticize our thoughts here. Just let them come. We have these thoughts. We have, our internal alarm systems. For example, when you feel thirsty, it's an indication that you need water. When you feel pain, it's indicating that something is wrong. So I like to scan down our body during this self-investigation, starting at the crown of your head. We're going to inhale and scan down over the top of our head, our forehead, and brows. Paying close attention, actively investigating if there's anything you notice as we scan down the back of your head, and your ears. As you listen to my voice, notice what happens in your ears. Behind your closed eyelids, notice your eyes. Maybe imagine the face of someone that you love. Scanning down over your nose, paying attention to your breath again. Scanning down over your mouth and your jaw. We're not trying to change anything here, just really being an active observer of our bodies. Noticing what comes up, what we're feeling. The practice in meditation is when you're attempting to relax into this space and your thoughts or body want to move or do things or get on with it. Surrendering to staying is how you grow your practice, how you grow your ability to sit intently and quietly with your own self. Scanning down over your neck and your shoulders. Notice any feelings as you scan down your arms and your hands. Any tightness or discomfort. Your upper back and chest. Scanning that area, noticing your heartbeat again. Settling just a little further into this comfort, relaxing into the space. Scanning over your core, your hips, lower back, and sit bones. Noticing tightness or discomfort. And if you need to move or adjust, do so accordingly. Remembering that we started this with gratitude. Scan down over your legs, your feet, and your toes. As you sit and as an observer of your body, I want you to look at each part of yourself as if it were the greatest work of art ever seen. Maybe even bring a smile to your face. Notice the feelings that came up or are now, where you may be loose or tight. Do you feel discomfort or ease? You may notice colors, a dark area or a light area. Any hot or cold sensations. Any heaviness. Maybe in your heart. Or weightlessness. Just noticing. Returning to our breath now, feeling it. Cool air on the inhale. Breathing down a little further into that belly bowl. Imagine your hips, the bottom of the bowl. Really take that deep inhalation all the way down. We're going to use the same type of scan with our thoughts now. Oftentimes when we get quiet or we attempt a meditation, our brain takes that opportunity to kick into overdrive, fear, confusion, disappointment, anger, and hurt. Usually try to take the wheel. But I'd like now, just for a few minutes, to notice your thoughts as guides. And as a thought comes into your mind, just notice if it's worth following or if it is something we can come back to at a later time. When a thought comes up, instead of getting frustrated that you're supposed to not think or not do or to be anything other than you are, it's the opposite of what we're attempting here. Just decide if you want the thought or if you want to release it. And if you'd like to release it, simply return to your breath. A thought might come up that isn't helping you right now. Note the thought and decide to focus back on your breath. Feel for your heartbeat. Actively think of a part of your body that may have discomfort and send some light there. It's not quite possible to turn off our brains. So the idea that we should is only setting us up for failure. Let your thoughts come. Decide if they are helping you right now. And if they are, follow it. Ask what it's showing you. Notice any feelings in your body that may be associated with the thought. As you become more comfortable in these selection of thoughts, we start to become more aware of what we actually need to hear, what we want. Might even just be this, a few minutes of calm. It might be that you need a sip of water. The important part is that when we learn these things from listening intently, and we make this promise to ourselves that we will follow through on it, we start to build that trust within ourselves. We learn to better attach to the quality thoughts that are feeding us, helping us, that matter. I'd like to do a reverse body scan now. And I'd like for you to have some more investigation as we've done the body scan, investigating how things feel, and then choosing our thoughts very selectively. And you could even bring up a situation maybe that needs your attention right now. So set the intention that we are going to focus on this particular situation or experience. If it's been difficult or hard, and just notice as you allow space for that thought or the situation that needs your attention to come up. As we do this scan, notice different areas in your body. And again, it's not to change these things, but we want to follow the RAIN process, which is to recognize what we're feeling, allow what we're feeling to be without judgment or criticism. Maybe investigate where the feelings are coming from. If we're anxious about something, but when you really dig deep and investigate that, It may not warrant your fear or your anxiety because you already know that it's going to turn out okay. Or maybe you don't. And that's what's keeping you in the cycle of thought. And the last part of the RAIN process is to nurture what is true. So even if it's something that you can't change or alter, noticing what your needs are in this difficult situation so that you can then provide those to yourself. We'll start at the toes this time. I want you to just actually feel for your toes. We use them every day, and we rarely think about the importance of them. If you have a hard time feeling your toes, maybe wiggle them just a little bit. And then the bottoms of your feet, and the tops of your feet, your heels, and your ankles. Just noticing your body, sending gratitude for how hard it works for you every day. And if this situation or thoughts are coming up, notice if these things are living anywhere in your body. We come up to our calves now and our shins. Sending gratitude. And yes, I would even say, thank you, shins. Scanning up your knees, front and back of thighs. Just let your legs relax now in that space of gratitude. Coming up to your sit bones and your hips. That bowl that's created just below your belly. It's where our creation comes from, in that lower gut area. And in women, it would be the womb area. Just notice what you feel there. Any discomfort, nervousness, or if it feels light. Relaxing your hips and your lower abdomen. Giving gratitude towards your body. We'll come up now to our core, lower back, upper back, and chest. So much happening in this space. Heart beating, lungs filling, blood coursing without being asked. Let's send our body some gratitude. Scanning your arms and hands, wrists, elbows. Noticing if anything is living uncomfortably in that area. Up to your neck and finally your head. Relaxing your entire upper body. I want you to say to yourself in your head, thank you, body. Thank you, spirit. Thank you, soul. Thank you, intuition. Thank you, mind. Thank you, guides. Thank you, heart. Thank you, heart. Thank you, heart. Feel that heartbeat in your chest. Ask what it needs. What it wants. I'd like for you to now remember the weight of your body. Feel it on the floor or chair. Gently reach over left hand to right wrist and feel once again for that pulse. I want you to take 3 deep, deep, great inhalation and exhalations. Feeling for that pulse, holding at the top and resting once all of the air is released. Feeling that pulse, inhale deeply. Belly rise, hold, and exhale. You can connect to this space at any time. Feel for it. Listen for it. It's already yours. This is a safe space for you. When you're ready, you can open your eyes, come back into the room. How's everybody feeling? Anybody want to share? You can unmute yourself and talk, or you can add it in the chat room. Let me know that you didn't just fall asleep. Anybody have anything to share? Roman, how about you? Can you unmute yourself? Or do I have to do it? Let's see. Roman, are you there?
Okay, yeah, I'm here now. I couldn't figure out how to do it.
That's okay, no worries. How are you feeling?
I feel good. It's been a while. It's been a long time since I've done a session with you, but I think I needed it.
I think
I
we
feel
all
good.
do all the time, just that little sacred space that we can create anytime. It can be micro. Questlove has a book, and in his book he talks about his meditations, and he does what's called a micro meditation, and it's like 5 seconds. I think they're like super quick, and he escapes because he's made it such a practice to do it over and over again. It just escapes for that 5 seconds, and his creative genius, where he connects there in that meditation. So things get harder, heavy, it's a good place to escape to, but we can also use our meditation to help us with creativity, or new thought processes, or healing, or whatever. So I'm glad that you felt like you got something out of it.
I always do. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Absolutely. All right. Anybody else?
Hey Tracy, it's Jill.
Hi, Jill.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm awesome now.
Yay!
There's so many things that I got out of that. I feel like I was in sort of like a sleep hypnosis trance. I don't even know what you'd call it, but you know that my mind, I know we've talked about this a lot, my mind is always so busy and my body is always doing the same thing. Like I'm always just moving and my mind is always moving. So it was really amazing to be given permission to let my mind move, but to let it go. And it made me not move so much in my mind. I don't know. It was, it's crazy. It was great. I needed it too.
So beautiful. Thank you for sharing. It's interesting too, and it works similarly. I'm really glad that you said that, Jill, because it's really how emotions work. The more we try to ignore them or shove them down, thoughts, emotions, feelings, all of those things, the more aggressive sometimes they can get, right? And so if we just shine a little light on them and say, okay, you matter, let me hear you out or feel this out or whatever, while the fear is that it will consume us or overwhelm us or run rampant, the opposite actually happens, and it allows that to, it's kind of like a tea kettle rather than the Instant Pot, right? It's not pushing all that pressure down and then a huge release. It's like this just gentle flow, letting what needs to be heard, kind of a thing. So I'm glad that was helpful for you. Thank you so much for sharing. And I can't wait to talk to you next week.
I know.
Okay. Anybody else? You don't have to if you don't want to. We're basically done with the meditation, but I wanted to invite anybody to share what they were feeling. You can also private message me if you want to know more or do it again. I will absolutely send this recording out, and feel free to listen to it. It'll be there as long as my cloud is. Marvin, what you got?
Hey, just to chime in, sorry I was late, number one.
Yeah, it's okay.
But with everything that was going on, has been going on with schools and all, I needed to take that time, and thank you. I appreciate it. Just to relax and just go into a different state. I've never done it before, so it was
yay!
my first time.
You're not
And
alone. There, Brian also was his first time as well. So I'm so glad that first, I'm honored that you guys thought of me to have that experience with and trusted me with the space. And if you are, after you're thinking about it, or maybe later today or tomorrow, any thoughts come up, one, just know that everything goes right. We give ourselves space to matter. Sometimes there's kind of a flood of feelings or emotions, or an avalanche, if you will. And two, that I'm here if you want to reach out or whatever. I mean, Marvin, all of you already know that, but just to say it again. Beth, you're unmuted. Are you going to tell us?
No, I just want to say thank you. That's it.
Awesome. Great. Thanks, Marvin. Beth, were you unmuted?
Yeah.
There? Okay.
Yes,
How
thank
are
you very much. It
You're
was
welcome.
amazing as always. Yes.
Good. Beth actually did the last one and has listened to it a few times, so hopefully this one will be the same way. Good stuff. I'm honored that you're all here. Really, it truly is my heart's calling to do stuff like this and to reach people, and whether it felt helpful or just gave you a minute to chill, and everything in between. That's what my hope is. So, Marie?
Yeah, just wanted to say thank you.
Absolutely. Honored you're here.
Definitely. Yeah, me too. It's been a bit stressful, as for everybody, over the past month. I could feel it in my back, and even if, as I was sitting, getting ready to meditate, I was like, "Ooh, feel that," kind of like that tension in my back. And as you're guiding us through, I could feel like that tension kind of go away. So forgot how great it is to meditate and just even kind of get, like you said, get out of that my current state and feel that weightlessness and kind of the stress kind of lift a little bit. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. Even 5% is a win, you know.
Yes.
We cannot expect it all to just, it would be lovely if it would just melt away, but we'd need about 8 hours for that. And I didn't bring snacks. So we'll have to do that another time. But yeah, thanks for that. I'm so glad.
Yeah, that was great. So thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks. Brian, did you want to say something? I saw you unmute for a second.
Nah, just saying thanks.
Awesome.
Felt like I was back out on the water again, going offshore like I usually do this time of year, and then coming back. You get the rolling waves, you get into that sense of being just you're just there. There's nothing else. Cell phones don't work. You can't do anything. You're just in the moment. So it was just a little weird for me right now, I have to say.
Sure. It's new. Absolutely. That's acceptable and totally normal. Trust me.
Yeah, very nice. Appreciate it.
Awesome. I'm so glad that you at least got something out of it. And, you know, just that idea that you can tap into that serenity, even if you're not in the space that grants it to you, you know, through nature or naturally or whatever. But one thing, since you are, you know, a boat, water guy, all that stuff, something that works for a lot of people when their thoughts get a little crazy is, you know, imagining yourself as the sea instead of the boat, and the waves lapping on the shore or crashing on the shore or tsunami on the shore all come back to its source, right? And so when the thoughts are going and crashing on the shore, don't let them define you or alter like the core being of yourself, if that makes sense. It might be too woo-woo for you, but you know me. So
No, it makes sense. In the past, I've had to deal with some other stuff. You know, my fire department, everything else I have to deal with. A lot of times I've had to go for some care, shall we say, and that's exactly what they've done. It's like, hey, look, be here rather than there. Be up on top, not being, you know, being crashed upon, but rise above it.
yeah.
Like, and then, just like I was saying, I just needed a mental break. A lot of stuff's going on. I'm not in my usual zone. So I was like, I mean, I just got to quiet my mind. So that's, I was like, well, who do I go to? Oh, yeah.
I can't tell you how much it makes my day for that to be the go-to person for that. Like everybody has their jam. I'm totally down for that being the thing. So thanks for
this can continue with me. So I'll see you next week.
Yeah, and listen, let me know if you want to just chat or whatever. I'm here for it. You know,
Good. I just needed a mental break, you know, and you know, I heard Marvin too, like, you know, he's got a lot of stuff going on with education. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine being a principal right now or even an educator. So
I can't even imagine having a younger one right now. Like no.
Yeah, my son just turned 15 and I'm like dealing with all this stuff. So
yeah, that's a lot.
I think Marvin takes the cake out of all of us. He's a principal.
Not at all. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it.
Well, unfortunately, I got to check off here because I actually have to go to my second job right now.
Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe you are winning then. But absolutely, if anybody has anything else, I'll stay on a couple of minutes. If you are ready to go, then thank you for joining me tonight. I'm honestly so honored to have all of you here. And yeah, wishing
Thank
you
you, Tracy.
lots of love and light. Mwah.
Mwah, back at you.
Absolutely.